going to be part 2 of numerical expressions. Part 2. So in part 1, we kind of did the word problem aspect. So you did John has 3 cookies, he ate 1 and gave 1 to June. Today, it might be a little bit harder or a little bit easier, depending on how your brain works. So let's take a look at this very first one. Find the product of 3 and 2, then take away 5. A little bit different, a little bit less fun than cookies, but we still don't have to solve it. So let's go. Let's underline some important words. We've got product is an important word. We know that product means multiply. And then take away. If somebody is taking away something, they are subtracting it. So find the product of 3 and 2. Then, whenever you see that word then, it kind of is a clue that something's going to have to happen after it. But it's also a clue that we could use some parentheses. Because 3 times 2 happens first. Then we take away 5. So find the product of 3 times 2. Then take away 5. Then subtract 5. Looks good. Let's move on to the next one. Find 2 more than 5 plus 8. Find 2 more than, we know that more than is add, and we know that plus is also add. So find 2 more than 5. So find 5, 2 more than that, plus 8. That comma here also kind of works like a then. So find 2 more than 5, 5 plus 2, or 2 plus 5. We know that the commutative property says it doesn't matter. Plus 8. You remember that comma is kind of like saying then. 5 plus 2, then plus 8. Let's do a few more. Add 6 to the difference between 9 and 7. So you know that add to the difference between. Difference between tells us to subtract. So we've got an add and a subtract. This one's a little bit backwards. We know we're going to add 6. We know that. But the difference between 9 and 7. The difference, the subtraction between 9 and 7. So we know we're going to add 6. But you have to do that 9 minus 7. Looks good. Let's do another one. Find 5 less than 18, then take the difference from 22. Such a wordy problem. Let's look. 5 less than 18. So I know that's going to be 18 minus 5. 5 less than 18. If you have 18 cookies, I take away 5. You've got 5 less than 18. So I know I've got 18 minus 5. Then, all right, we've got a then. So we're going to put in parentheses. Take the difference from 22. Okay, so take the difference. We know that difference means subtract. From 22. So if you say 18 minus 5 minus 22, you're not taking it from 22. We're going to say 22 minus 18 minus 5. Because if we put it this way, we're taking the difference of 18 minus 5, which we know is 13, from the 22. This one gets a little bit wordy, but you will have tons of practice, so no stressing. You're taking the difference, our difference is 18 minus 5, from the 22. So 22 minus 18 minus 5. Let's try this next one. Find a number that is 4 less than 22 minus 15. 4 less than 22 minus 15. I want you to try this one on your own. I know it's a challenge, but I know you can do it. For this one, we're looking that is 4 less than, so we know there's going to be subtraction. 22 minus 15 is also subtraction. Let's start with that 22 minus 15. Got that? Because we've got that than in our comma, so we know there's going to be parentheses. 4 less than. 4 less than. I've got a number here, and I want 4 less than that number. 4 less than 22 minus 15. These are some of those problems that if you rush through them, you're not going to do super well. So make sure you're really taking your time. Even though we don't have to solve it, these can be a little bit tricky. So slow down, take your time. Let's try this last one. Find the sum of 4 and 3, then divide by 9. Go ahead and try it out. For the important words, you should have thought about sum. We know that's addition. Divided by, we know that's division. Addition and division. So find the sum of 4 and 3, super easy. 4 and 3. And we know there's a comma, so we know that tells us it's got to be a parentheses. Then parentheses. Divide by 9. Divide by 9. Super easy. For these last two, I want you to create the numerical sentence, the words that will go with these numerical expressions, these equations. So go ahead, take a minute. What would you say for this? For this one, there's a few different ways to say it. We could say, find the difference between 10 and 3, then add 5. That would work. You could also say 10 minus 3, comma, add 5. If you notice that 5th grade language on the first one, a little bit less on the second one, but whatever we need to do totally works. Yours should look similar to mine. If you have a question, if yours is correct, please raise your hand to clarify. Last one. Ooh. Go ahead and solve it. And by solve it, I mean write the words. Go. All right, for this one, you should have said, find the sum of 8 and 5, comma, then multiply by 3. You could have also said 8 plus 5, comma, times 3. But remember, we're going for those 5th grade words. Find the sum of 8 and 5, then multiply by 3. Again, if you have a question about whether yours is correct or not, please raise your hand. And that brings us to the end of numerical expressions.